Hello everybody, girls up here, back with another video. Today, we're doing something a little bit new here. Today is the time we delve into the songs themselves. And what other song that first started off, delving into with the history of it and a bunch of other stuff with it is of course the song that got girls popular in the first place. The fifth track off the self-titled album, Clint Eastwood. This makes all the sense to talk about as, it's the biggest song. It's the second biggest song the band has next to Feel Good Inc. Feel Good Inc. has beat Clint Eastwood multiple times on streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music. You can see Clint Eastwood has been reduced to second place, with Feel Good Inc. being at first. Now let's talk about Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is named that for the main reason it's not because of the film star. I will play this clip of what Jamie had to say about Clint Eastwood in an interview once that you can find on the Bananas documentary. Yeah, when he had talked about Clint Eastwood, he did not mean it in like the way of the actor. Alright, here's what he said.
Well, it's not supposed to be Clint Eastwood as in the film star Clint Eastwood. No, it's more to do with there's a melodica line in that song which sounds a bit like an old spaghetti western. So it's sort of Clint Eastwood for that reason, and also a lot of sort of old reggae stars used to give themselves rather large names.
That is what Jamie had to say about it, and that's basically the truth. And Gorillaz, and this was like a smash hit. And let's go into the real life backstory. Demo versions were originally recorded by Damon Albarn on a 4-track using a drum machine and a guitar. A re-recording similar to these demos were recorded into Logic for use of a backing as a backing track. Now the original. Now any Gorillaz fan, aficionado like myself, and multiple other ones, know that Dell was not the first person to do Clint Eastwood. So no, the first person was the first year that did it was British underground rap group Phileas Cypher. Phileas Cypher had done original version of Clint Eastwood, did a live version of Rock the House, did an unreleased version of Starshine, and also had another song they did, of course, called The Sounder. And their version of Clint Eastwood and The Sounder were then released on G-Sides. Starshine was officially released in 2011, and of course since this was a live version of Rock the House, it's usually on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube fully. So it's not like a rare thing you can find. The whole thing's on fucking YouTube basically. And Phileas Cypher, they did it, and it was planned for that to be the album release. But however, when Damon and Junior Dan, I got Dan the Odd Man to the mix, and Dan I brought Dell in. Dell, did his verses, and it was considered superior and stuck as the album version. Basically, you could say that Dan kind of screwed over Feel Life in the end. And there's even a story of Damon had apparently apologized to them after keeping them off the album. But you can tell that clearly took his apology well, because not only did they do live shows with them, they did an advert for the album. And even of course had another track in The Sounder, and their version was then released on G-Sides like a year later. Like a couple months to a year later. G-Sides is dated like 2001, 2002. So it took a few months to a year to get their songs, so these two of their songs, released officially to the public. And it's pretty good. I do like their tracks. Their tracks pretty good. Besides that, yeah, so Dell did it, and it was just instantly better. The strings featured in the song are from a string machine, the Selena String Assemble. According to the engineer, Jason Cox, Damon gave us the okay to set fire to it on stage, but we said no, you can't set fire to that, it's a classic. And it ended up being used on the song as well as other tracks on the album. The drums are provided by a drum machine, and the main instrument in the song is the melodica, which Damon Albarn used to make the basic track as well. Yeah, the melodica is used heavily in Clint Eastwood. With most live versions nowadays, that's how Dame will start the song. The melodica will start it off, and then the band does the thing in the back. You get the few strings of the melodica, and then boom, it gets into the song. But Clint Eastwood also has the most iconic lyrics of any Gorillaz song. Every Gorillaz fan knows the lyrics, of course. Now let's get into the virtual band's, backstory. While recording at Kong Studios, 2D started fiddling around with this melodica, and Russell also, took all the good bits out of it, while Murdoch wrote the melody and 2D then sang it. 2D claimed he had a cold when he did the vocals, but still it works. So that explains why 2D sounds so weird. And it's had a bit of a cold there. Yeah. Murdoch jokingly said that when he did the song, he pushed the reggae setting button on his Honda Z card. The harp turned the knob from flip to hit and popped out the song. The original recording featured Murdoch singing colorless atonal vocals, but Danny Automator, producer, suggested that the song be improvised, replacing sections with a rap, which worked very well in the end. And that suggestion triggered Dell out of Russell's head, and he just sang his whole verses while it put Dell in a coma. Russell in a coma. Russell later claimed that Dell transformed the whole sound. Basically, he did. He killed that mug. After finishing the song, they called it Clint Eastwood because it had a good, bad, and ugly feel to the melodic line. 2D also said that because of its dub feel, it was a tip out of the hat to all 1970s reggae stars who use names like that. Now, of course, Clint Eastwood is just an immaculate track, and let's talk about the different versions of it as well. Now, the lyrics mention the band members, and the Gorillaz Wiki also quotes Fela Cypher, because Fela Cypher mentioned Russell and Noodle, but they only claim Noodle. Dell's version has that lyric, through Russell, not his muscles, but cutting provides. But with Cypher, they had that, it's like, what was the lyric again? I'm trying to remember what it was, because I haven't heard their version in a while, though. What was it? Yes, Fela Cypher had constructive wordplay with their songs. And then, he had, they had said, I'm a mad drag, causes so much havoc in Russell's head. Hey, that's, a good idea. And plus, it ties into the song as well. He's they plays the beat in a trance, That's what he does in the video, he just, in the rock house too, he just plays it. And of course, Fela Cypher also mentioned Noodle, in a verse that said, I smashed the top of your head with a guitar that I borrowed from Noodle. That's actually a good, that was bars right there. Now, of course, Dell has his design that nowadays would seem pretty racist, just because of the big old lips and the fact that he's black. Apart from that, the design is fine, but that would make it seem kind of off nowadays, Well, but Clint Eastwood is honestly one of the greatest tracks the band has had, and of course has all of the versions that has been done. For example, the ones on the album, we had the Ed Case refix, and of course Fela Cypher's version and all that. Now, Clint Eastwood, of course, has the most infamous lyrics, the classic ever, I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. That verse has just been memorized in our heads for years as Gorillaz fans. And of course, before it starts off with 2D making that sound that makes him sound like a fucking owl. Well, and speaking of which, that sound has a little electric version, a little roboticized version, which you can hear in some live performances. So hold on, I'll play it right now, because when I hear it, it's funny. You can actually hear it in the iTunes session as well. You hear an iTunes session and a version on the Demon Detour by Clint Eastwood, but it's mostly notable. Yeah, it's mostly noticeable now on Hold on, let me start it up. Because it's when you hear it, it's that's interesting to say the least. Let me remember where it's at. Because that thing is loud with it. Where's it? Listen. That little sound, I don't know why, it gives it a little electric feel to it. I mean, it's alright, but I think what that was used for, the electric sounding version is mostly used for, I think it's mostly used if Damon were to fuck up and go off note, which, we all seen Damon do that nowadays. 2D's little owl noise gets done before 2D even appears on screen now, which is come on, whatever, but it's alright. And now we get into all the versions that have been made with Clint Eastwood after all these years. Yes, there have been so many versions that you couldn't, and it's unspeakable. Well, of course we have Clint Eastwood, he got the radio edited single version, instrumental, all that, nothing really special, but like I said, the Ed Case refix, the Clint Eastwood, that's pretty good. There's the Clint Eastwood version live with De La Soul and Booty Brown, which I just played, out the electronic sounding and a version with Jamal Gray, which is from the live tour from 2002, which is pretty good, I might add. The De La Soul and Booty Brown version of Clint Eastwood you can find on the Dare single, Gotta look for one of them. It's the one that has like a black look to it. That's where you'll find it. There was a version, of course, live with Kano and Bashi and Snoop Dogg, and Kano and MF Doom, which makes it interesting. A version with, you know, Kano, Lil Sims on Demon Days. The Ekiz Refix come back. A version with Ascension was the dude from Ascension. Multiple artists have appeared on this version. There's even a version with you know, Teeny Tempa, whoever he was. Yeah, Kano and Bashi's. You know, they did theirs. Snoop did a version. Felix F. Will Be Brown. Like other people. Well, the fact that even MF Doom did a version is an interesting thing, and that's pretty cool. Now the video, of course, everyone has seen Clint Eastwood's video. Yeah, what more is there to say about that gym? Everyone has seen it. Every Girls fan, you have at least seen the Clint Eastwood video at least once. And if you are saying that you haven't, you are a goddamn liar. That needs to get smacked in the face. Clint Eastwood was the biggest hit Gorillaz had when it first came out. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of cool because I want you to picture this. Can you imagine if instead of Clint Eastwood being released, they had done like another track off the album? Do you think Gorillaz would have been as big as it was now when it first came out? Well, I'd say probably, but at the same time probably not. Let's say if they released like 5-4 like rehash instead, it's like, would that have worked? Like Tomorrow Comes Today, it was okay when it came out, but it didn't really do much. It was just there, but it's like, alright, it's good enough. So that was the video on Clint Eastwood. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. I'm 2D. Goodbye.